there. Thank you so much for joining me for Yarn Bite with Nora, where I spend a few minutes telling you about my latest projects. I know you're busy with your own life and you don't have a lot of time to devote to long videos. So I'm just going to tell you in a few minutes what I've been up to. I started off with, a 2.5-year project. It's been in the works for a while, my little yarnsters. My beautiful, if I humbly may say so myself, a moment of humbleness, my snowflake, my Granny Square snowflake afghan. So proud of it. I'm so happy. Of course, with the border, I thought, well, I'll do some stripes. And I'd feature the silver. Well, by the time you use navy blue, and notice these were 2 different shades. I hope it comes across. This is thicker, this is a chunky, this is a worsted, and it's a little bit lighter. It actually reflects light a little different. And that didn't bother me, but by the time I added the white stripes, the silver stripes, the navy stripes, it looked like the Dallas Cowboys. So I ripped it all out, and this is all of the yarn that came off of the border. And then I ended up with the Banksia border. I love the Banksia border. Has the little flowers, the little Banksia flowers. It looks so beautiful. I look for every excuse now to use the Banksia border. I'm just totally in love with it. So my words of wisdom out to you in yarn land is don't give up. If you've been working on a project for a long time, don't give up. You're going to finish it. You don't like the way it's coming out. You've already spent too much money. You've spent too much time. Rip it out. Try something else. Well, here is my Snowflake Granny Square Afghan. I have been working on this, I'd say for about 2.5 years. And I thought I was just about finished. And I decided it needed some more work. You can see the different granny squares. This is the centerpiece. This is really my inspiration. It was a little bit bigger and I had to undo some of the rows so that it could fit with the rest of the granny squares. So it was really pretty big. I ended up using bulky yarn, even though it called for worsted. So I ended up with quite a nice size lap. You can see this is a lap blanket, and it fits most of this full-size bed, the top of it. Well, I didn't like it because I ended up using 3 shades of blue. You can see here, and this looks black. It's coming across as black, but it's navy blue. And I thought, 3 is just way too many. And I ended up using silver because this is Jiffy bulky. It was discontinued. All the Jiffy bulky color were discontinued, so I went to silver. You can see the silver here, kind of a pretty silver gray. So I added it here, and then lo and behold, I ended up with the Dallas Cowboys motif, which thrilled my husband. He's a big Dallas Cowboy fan, and I like the Dallas Cowboys, but this is a snowflake blanket. It's supposed to be light and airy and pretty and frilly, and then we got collegiate. Well, not really collegiate because it's a professional football team, but then we have sporty at the end. I'll make my husband a Dallas Cowboy Afghan sometime if he wants one, but this isn't it. So what I thought I would do is I made snowflakes. Alright, here I've just placed the stars on top, So just to give you an idea of what it would look like, you know, it's okay. It's not the look that I was after. So what I'm going to do is unravel the stripes. So here is my stitch marker. This was my last row, and I am going to rip it all out. And I'm going to crochet then a white, I found a really pretty pattern for a really nice light border. And at the very top, I can put a navy blue stripe to kind of tie in to the other blues. But we need to say goodbye. This is my finished Snowflake Granny Square Afghan. I hope you like it. I am crazy in love with this Banksia border. I love it. And here's a flower, the Banksia flower. There's 2 rows of them. I love it. I try to find every excuse that I can. Every excuse that I can. I have 3 different colors of blue. I have several different colors of white. This one's very translucent. I had to try different widths before I found the weight of yarn that would work perfect. And I think it was really worth the effort. I am so happy. It took me 2.5 years to complete this project. I couldn't be any prouder. I want to show you up close one of my snowflakes. Looks white, doesn't it? Here, we'll put it against here. Looks white. Well, let's put it against this nicer yarn. Put it against this yarn. Not so white, is it? This is made out of the cheapest white yarn I could find at Hobby Lobby. Why did I do that? When a very nice brand, a very white, you can tell, a gleaming white, cost $1 a skein more. Look at the size of that skein. $1 more, and I would have had beautiful, bright white. Look at how dingy that is. Wow. And another thing I'm going to try is this metallic. It's also from, I love this yarn. I bought it at Hobby Lobby, metallic. Can you see how pretty and shiny? Won't that make just the most beautiful snowflakes? So, the moral of this story is, don't be cheap. Spend $1 more. But I am going to stiffen these. I'm going to sprinkle glitter on them to disguise some of the dingy snow. The other project that I'm working on that I'm very pleased with is the Snappy Sampler Scarf. If you notice, they're snowmen. Each snowman has a different expression, different face. He has a scarf, he has a hat. This is for purchase. It's by snappytots.com. Oh, she has just the cutest pattern. Snappy sampler scarf. Snappytots.com. So you want to check that out. Very, very cute. And I'm work on this on Saturdays and sometimes at night because I have a lot of ends. A lot of ends. I know a lot of people work in their ends, but since I'm using 100% acrylic, and yes, this time I am using 100% acrylic, acrylic can be slippery, so it can slip out. And since this is going to be for my son, I don't want him to fuss with it or mend because he won't mend it. And what I do, I leave a nice long end, and then I weave it in. I sew it in one direction, then I be on the opposite end very, very neatly because it's a scarf and you're just going to flip and flop. And then I'm going to hook one of the little stitches and then I'm going to sew back in the opposite direction through the original stitch. And that way I'll catch it and it'll stay down and then I'll snip it. I know it's faster just to catch it as you crochet, and that probably works very well when you work with wool because wool has those little fuzzy, those little barbs that catch each other and then they kind of get felted just through wear and especially through wash, but we don't have those nice little burrs. This is pretty slick, so I want to be extra sure that it's going to stay put. I have finished all of the faces. You can tell it's smooth, no raggedy ends. And I've been sewing them in. I just have pretty much the middle part. It looks like a piñata, doesn't it? Looks like a piñata. Maybe I'll do a piñata scarf next. I like that piñata scarf. And but it's just adorable. This is the top hat, and you actually do a bill. Can you see that? It sticks out. Let's see if you can see the bill. It's kind of a 3D effect of the hat, and then here's a scarf that sticks out as well. Look at that. And there's some and then here's a hat that's all fuzzy. Look at those curls. And so each one gets to do, and of course you do any color you want. You can have an all purple and white one, you can have pink, you can, whatever color you like, you choose the colors. I pretty much followed the pattern because I think it's a good idea. Follow the pattern, and then you know where you can make modifications, alterations. Because so often I read in comments where the recipes, directions to a sweater or scarf, people say, well, I changed such and I was really unhappy with the way it turned out. This is a really dumb pattern, this is a really dumb recipe. Well, follow it exactly the first time, and then make your own changes. Because you see how things are going to settle, you see how things are supposed to look, and then you'll know whether your changes are going to be compatible. But I'm very, very happy. And this is my Saturday scarf, and sometimes at night, late at night scarf. And the group that I gather on Saturdays, one of the members came up with a really cool name. It's Tejadoras Sabatinas. Tejadoras Sabatinas. Tejadora means weaver, crocheter, knitter, and Sabatina means Saturdays. So I'm really crazy about that name. I like that name a lot. This scarf is for my son Joshua. He lives in Wisconsin where it gets very, very, very cold, but it's more of a decorative item since it's acrylic and it's not that warm, and I think he'll get a big kick out of all the snowmen. Now, the other item I'm working on that is kind of an urgent item. This is a scarf for my daughter, Elise. She lives in Salt Lake City where it also gets cold. And here is the ribbing, and it has the very, very nice cast on that isn't tight, and then you have kind of this nice braided break there, and then we go to the lace. Isn't that pretty? And then for the back of the neck, I just did ribbing. I did 1 by 1 ribbing because I want the neck not to have any openings, to be nice and cozy and a nice barrier from the wind. This part is going to have, where the ribbing is, I'm going to attach a hood. I'm going to pick up the stitches along here and I'm going to make a hood, which is just going to be a square, and then I'll sew the edge, and there we have it. We have a hood. So I'm not to that point yet. I've got quite a ways to go, maybe 1.5 feet. And my formula is 2 feet, 1 foot of the middle, and then another 2 feet. The yarn that I'm using is Rowan Pure Wool Worsted Superwash. So she's pregnant, her first baby, and I don't want her to fuss. I usually buy her luxury yarns. This is pretty nice. You can smell the lanolin, and very cushy. This is worsted. This is worsted weight, and then I'm also attaching a sport weight. This is 100% wool. Sport weight. And this is Knit Picks. And this is not washable, so she'll have to hand wash, lay flat. And the reason I'm using 2 strands is I picked this Merc wood. This was so beautiful. I've been looking for years for a really nice hooded scarf. And it's long, and the way it looks like a vest, the way it's belted. And here's the nice ribbing. Well, this yarn that I picked wasn't thick enough for this pattern. So I don't know what I was thinking when I chose this a couple of years ago, and I had it in a box with the pattern. So not knowing my thinking, I thought, whoa, change of plan. So I disbanded, I started, and you couldn't see the cables. The cables are very, very intricate. And since I was using the 2 strands of yarn, you couldn't see the cables. Why was I going to go to all that trouble for something that couldn't be seen? Look at those intricate cables. So what I ended up doing was I found this pattern that I ended up doing. It's the Extra Quick and Easy Scarf from Blue Sky Extra. And it's a free knitting pattern. But I had begun it, so it was wider. So it's much, much wider than the directions. So this one only calls for something like 15 stitches, and I've got quite a few. But it'll be nice and cushy to protect her from the cold. And especially since she's a mommy, a mommy-to-be. I found this at Hobby Lobby in the markdown bin. $2.15. Who could resist? I'm in mitten mode now. Look at those cute, cute, cute mittens. Different sizes. Quick and easy to knit or nook. K-N-O-O-K. A nook is a combination of a crochet hook with a cord at the end. It's kind of like knitting and crocheting at the same time, and I'm really anxious to start this technique. So I think this would be a really good project to start with. I know right now it's in vogue to make socks, and you know, beautiful, beautiful socks with indie yarns, luxury yarns. But I like the idea of making mittens and donating them, and I make all crazy designs. I've done cross stitch. I've tried color work. I really want to master color work in the next couple of years. So I'm excited about another book on mittens. Something that some little kid's going to pick up and enjoy. And I have a little video with some really cute mittens that I just finished and sent to my friend Rhea for her mitten project, and I hope you like them. This is a pair of mittens that I made for my friend, Rhea, so she could take to the first graders. These are 100% wool knit picks, and I love them because you can mix and match and throw leftovers. This is a giraffe. Quite a few people thought it was a cow, so I'm calling it a carafe. But I stuffed it with little pieces of yarn. So you can see it's got a 3D pop-up effect, almost like a puppet. Since they're little children, I think they'll enjoy it. They'll be warm, they'll be cozy. I think they'll enjoy them. I sure hope so. I have enjoyed so much making these mittens. You can really, you hear it all the time. The varieties are endless. Well, in this case, I've used cross stitch. This is crochet embroidery. This is a purchased pattern, and I'll put the author and where to purchase it online on the show notes. I think they're cute. Now, I mentioned my daughter is pregnant, so I want to make her a sweater. And I found something cute, something that she can wear while she's pregnant, and then something she can wear afterwards. It's the Camden Hills poncho. And I got this at anniescatalog.com. How cute is that? It's like a combination sweater, poncho. Look at that. And it has a chevron right here. It has a strip of chevron eyelets. Isn't that pretty? Chevron eyelets. And I'm going to make her, she wears a size medium, but I'm going to make her a size large. And that way, it's a poncho. So she can wear it even afterwards when she has the baby. And it's so pretty. Here's a close-up of the chevron eyelet. And the back is longer than the front, which is very trendy right now. And this is the yarn that I got, Knit Picks. Boy, the price point on Knit Picks, you cannot go wrong. Good old Knit Picks. Washable wool, right? This is Swish worsted, and this is called Marble Heather. So when you're going to have so much sweater, you want it with just a little bit of interest. And here it has little flecks of white, kind of like a faded, kind of marbly, well, Marble Heather, that is the name. Just so pretty. So it's not a solid gray. Look at how it reflects the light. How pretty is that? I think she's really going to enjoy that. There you go. That is true to life right there. See how it just reflects the light? So it's not going to be one solid, massive, dark wall of gray. And it's going to look so cute on her baby bump. Oh, so cute. Now I'll go over a couple of really nice purchases. Dollar store, you can't go wrong, dollar store. $2. I splurged. Dishcloth. I'm going to make a project bag. Isn't that nice? Just the perfect size for a small project bag. Look at that. There was only this one, so I'm going to have to hit the other dollar stores and get some more. How cute. This can be used, you know, starting October because it's pumpkins. Isn't that nice? Now, I bought $200 worth of yarn the last couple of weeks. Actually, it was within 2 days, the last couple of weeks. But for my snowman, I got, they were on sale for 33 cents off. So how could I not buy 12 skeins, right? Look at this. My husband always says, think of the money you would have saved if you hadn't bought. But beautiful yellow. I bought a lot of primary colors. blue. Oh, wow, 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 wow. White, because I'm working with snowmen. I love this fall orange. It's called burnt pumpkin. But to me, it really wasn't the orange for a nose. So I bought the Crafter Secret, which is a little lower quality, a little cheaper quality, a little scratchier, a little stiffer, but it's just for crafts. I mean, that is the name. It's Crafters. It's not, you're going to wear it next to your skin yarn, but for the noses. This is a real honest-to-goodness orange. But I love this burnt. Holy moly, that's gorgeous. Of course, red. Got to have red. Is that pretty? Oh, and this is nice. Look at this Christmas, and it has some silver to it. Whoa. I was going to do the stripes and this, and then I decided, you know, I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm going to do it as the pattern says, because it is a sampler, so you should follow it. They're trying to teach you different stitches. Each block is a different stitch. How cool is that? Each block, look at that, is a different crochet stitch. It's not easy. You're going to probably do it and undo it unless you're a pro, but that's the whole point. Oh, and here's a purple. Oh, that looks blue here, but it's purple. Let me see if I can change it around. But it is purple. Another awesome purchase, very yarny, is this cat in a basket full of yarn. How cute is that? It's let me out. So what? And it says basket, oh cute. Pull it out, and what does it do? And it's actually, you open it, and it says, Maui, meowie wishes for happy birthday. Isn't that cute? And it has kind of a sturdy envelope, has sides, so it's very, very sturdy. I just thought that was so cute. One more time, one more time. Oh, that's so cute. So cute. So cute. What I like to do with my patterns is I put them in those protective plastic sheet protectors. They're kind of like sleeves. And then I can put a Post-it note on them. And I have been putting them in a huge binder. This one says knitting patterns. And then you can, the first part I have hats. Well, the first part are the shipping labels for different yarns that I buy, because sometimes I forget what was the store that I bought them from, because I generally buy most of I generally buy most of my yarn online. Then over here I have hats, and I have a divider. And this is one of the first hats I made. Look, nothing like that. Oh, this is one I want to make. It's a lace, and it's a Japanese pattern, and it's all in charts. I think I can do it. I'm pretty sure I can do it. I just need some chunky or jumbo yard. Oh, and here's the famous pussy hats. So I like this, and I have blue for knitting. Then I have another one here. This one is the scarves, holidays. And I have another blue one here. And then for crochet, ooh, I have citrus colors. I have amigurumi, granny squares, and I started out doing my crochet in orange. Here's all in protective sleeves, and I couldn't find orange. I needed another orange binder, couldn't find one. So that's why I bought the green. I thought, well, you know what? Crochet can be citrus color. Then I was in my craft room, and the condition of which I will not explain in great detail, knocked over a box. I found the other orange binder. And in this one, I have amigurumi and Afghans. So I'll need to consolidate some of them. But it's a fun idea. If you have projects scattered all over the house like I do, sometimes you end up buying the same pattern or the same yarn. Have you ever done that? I have. Because I have so much stuff, I don't even know what I have. I want to end with this awesome box that I got at the dollar store. Isn't that pretty? This is what caught my eye. Believe in your own magic. Believe your own magic. Wow. Believe in your own magic. Look at the inside. Kind of a honeycomb, and it's cardboard, kind of like wallpaper covered. That is so beautiful. And sometimes I keep a finished project in there that I'm going to give out to somebody, and I'll lift it and I'll peek in and I'll think about the person that I'm sending it to and just send good vibes, and then put it back down. Makes me happy. I've been so happy. I've been crocheting. I've been knitting. Got to start the weaving. Got a little baby. Got a little baby now. Got a little baby now to knit and crochet for. But I did have my emergency projects here. I've never done this many projects before. I've never done 4 or 5 projects at one time. So just very, very happy. And you know, I'd like to mention a movie that I saw. I'm going to give you a quick little movie review, Dunkirk. I'm not really a big fan of war movies, and I like to go to the movies with my younger brother, and I asked him to pick the movie, and he picked, there was kind of slim pickings that weekend, and he picked Dunkirk, and I went, okay. Great movie, wonderful movie. It's not Saving Private Ryan where you're going to see body parts and young boys screaming for their mama. It's not going to be horrifying that way. It's so full of human kindness, so full of self-sacrifice. And you know, in these times we need to remember that humanity is basically good, and how everybody's out there to help one another. And in a nutshell, Dunkirk was a city in France, along the coast of France, and like 400,000 French and English soldiers were stranded in this small city, 400,000 of them, waiting for ships to take them back across into the continent, to England. And well, they didn't have the carriers, they didn't have the cruisers, and the water was too shallow. So the citizens from England, they came in fishing boats, they came in private luxury boats, you know, just fun crafts, that kind of thing. All men, teenagers, women, they came to rescue them. I cried twice. I cried twice during the movie. At the end of the movie, the final montage, I had tears streaming. I was sobbing. I was an emotional wreck. It is such a beautiful movie, and it'll remind you the beauty of humans and how we're here to help one another. And the father of one of the small ships, when the son said, "Why are we doing this?" He said, "If we don't do this, we're not going to have a country to come back to." It's a beautiful movie. I think excellent of any kind should be rewarded. So please go take your older children so we can all reward this director, reward the movie makers for doing a beautiful movie, a tribute to the best of humankind. You will not be disappointed. Please don't watch it. I have Cody. I have the free streaming. Go to the movies. Let's support fine movie making. I really beg you, please go and see this movie. You will not be disappointed. You'll not be disappointed at all. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my little spread of projects. I've got so much, and a lot of it's done. Most of it's done. So thank you so much, and I hope to hear from you. Some comments. You can also reach me on Facebook under Yarn Bite with Nora, and Instagram. It's also Yarn Bite. So thank you so much, and you all have a great day. Something else I'd like to mention, this is a very, very good time to get school supplies marked down, and a lot of school supplies can be used in our projects for our knitting, crochet, weaving project. Here are some sticky notes, some Post-its, different sizes that you can use to keep track of your different projects on your pattern itself. Here's a little bigger size. I use this size when I mark down how many decreases, how many increases, especially with the mittens. And here is a larger size. I haven't used this size, but this would be excellent for notes. And a lot of places have school supply. Oh, just about everybody has school supplies on sale. And Dollar General had a special that was you buy $15 of school supplies, any kind of stationery, and you got $5 off. So you got $15 worth of school supplies for $10. So check out those specials, and you can tuck some of these into your project bag. Here are some other great school supplies you can get at back to school sales. This is awesome. These are the composition books. You can get them for 50 cents right now at the big box stores or the dollar stores. They're wonderful to journal, take notes of your projects. Awesome. I bought about a dozen of these, 50 cents. Also, colored pencils, markers, so you can mark on your patterns or graphs, because I like to do cross stitch on mittens. So these are great prices right now. So check out those back to school sales, and you'll be surprised some of the great items that you'll find that you can stuff in your project bags. Here's another tip for you. When I work on lace or any kind of pattern that is can be divided into different sections, and so I'll keep track. For instance, this particular pattern is in 6 stitches, so I put a marker every 6. Now when I came over here on the right side you'll be making 4 knit stitches, 4 knit stitches. But on the reverse side, because it's garter stitch, you'll still be making knit, knit, knit. But in order for this to come out as a knit on the front, you have to purl. So in order for me to remember, I took a tip from the Grocery Girls, and they actually purchased a special little clip where you could clip a piece of paper. Instead, I made my own. I punched a hole with a 1-hole puncher. I used just a little rubber marker, and I wrote purl. So it's a physical reminder, more so than just a plain marker. This is an actual kick in the head. Hey, it's time to purl. And I've got it on this side as well. and it really has helped. It's kept me from having to go back down, laddering it and fixing it, which you know I will. And also I've had to fix the knit side a couple of times. But I love, while we're here, another tip is to slip as if to purl, and you get that pretty chain. Isn't that nice? This is really nice if you're going to pick up stitches later, but I think it just makes a beautiful edge. Beautiful edge.